I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free ship?
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. I hope you're all having a good day here. Thank you for tuning us on the Oreo Express. What is today? It is Thursday, March 6th, man. How time is flying. We got a lot to talk about today. Thank you for joining us. We got Hunter in the house, Micro Taz on time today. Thank you, Micro Taz. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Caden, Texas. What's up, Oreo Express? Happy Thursday. Waiting on Friday. Trina in the house. Melissa, good morning, Josh in the Oreo Army. Angela says hello. Thank you guys for being in here. If I could get you to hit that thumbs up, whatever platform you are watching from, tuning in from, and share it out, send it through email, on your social media platforms, everything you could do. Let's get it out. Sugar Bear jumps in and says, hello, Josh. Hello, Sugar Bear. All kind of American flags. Love it. Love it. So we're going to have some stuff to talk about today. The censure of Rep Al Green, who was the one trying to distract Trump from his speech the other night, and wouldn't sit down, wouldn't listen. They had to get the sergeant of arms in there to remove him. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about how Democrats made a fool of themselves again today doing that. Dev V, hello. We're going to talk about, looks like it's a false alarm, but there was some breaking news a little while ago at Corey Station at the Naval Air Station in Pensacola, Florida. We got some updates on that. We also got, and I'm going to give you my opinion on this one here in a minute, but it's a little later on. Gavin Newsom's podcast with Charlie Kirk. We'll get into that. I think we're doing him a favor by doing those. I'm just going to tell you that now. And then we got Transtifa. Remember when we talked about the firebombings at the Tesla location and the shootings? We covered both those. Well, Trump's DOJ just arrested and charged somebody with that. And of course, it's Transtifa. We're going to get into that and a whole lot more. Karen's in the house. Hello, Karen. Pixie. Hello. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Reading some of the comments here. So let's get into it. Let's get a little start on it. This was this morning. This was the scene that was posted online. Let's see. Let me do this. And so there was a lot of panic, a lot of police, Naval Air Police, and going to the scene. The update that we got not too long ago was right here, and we'll go ahead and play that. Let's break this.
Yeah, here's the Escambia County Sheriff Chip Simmons. Sheriff, what's going on?
Well, I can tell you about an hour ago, we got a call that there was potentially an active shooter. A caller reported hearing three gunshots in a building here in Corey Station. Obviously, we're treating it as an active shooter. Escambia County Sheriff's Office, military police, Pensacola Police Department, we all arrived. And I can tell you right now, we have done a sweep of the building, the entire building, and we show no signs of a shooter. We have 0 injuries, but we are double checking and we're clearing the building once again.
How long do you anticipate that your officer will be here today?
We'll probably be here for another 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Again, we want to make sure we have gone through it, the entire building one time, but there is no evidence of any type of active shooter. But again, an abundance of caution, we want to make sure that we clear the entire building, closets, hallways, everything.
So again, seems like it was shots fired for a disturbance call at Corey Station. Seems like everything's coming out okay. Thankful for that. Prayers for those folks, and thank you to our first responders out there. Reuters is getting into a little trouble with the fake news. Go figure. Wasn't Reuters paid by USAID? And we got some information on USAID today as well. Trump, look at this. Trump to revoke legal status for 240,000 Ukrainians as U.S. steps up deportations. This is Reuters. Look at what the press secretary had to say. This is more fake news from Reuters based on anonymous sources who have no idea what they are talking about. The truth, no decision has been made at this time. Again, they want to get everything out there. They want to get everybody on edge. We're also going to talk about the unemployment numbers that came out. And if you guys are a regular on the show, we're rooting for high unemployment numbers. We want 75% of the federal government cut. And we told you that the numbers would be high because of what the government is doing and how we're getting rid of the bloated bureaucracy. And we told you how the left was going to try to use that against Trump. Well, it's happening. We're going to get into that a little later as well. But just amazing. Reuters, going out there. And I love it. An unidentified source, a person close to the White House, somebody with intimate knowledge of the details. They never have anybody that they can just say, hey, it was John Smith. Because why? Again, it's to stir up, it's to divide the country and everything else. Now, I know you guys, I know there's a lot of fake news, how Republicans are regretting their votes. We can't find one. If you can find one, we'll get them on the show. We'll talk to them here a little bit. But one of the things that I noticed, hold on, let me put this up. Forgot to put that up right there. Is I think we're in trouble, guys. I think we're in trouble. I mean, look at this video that the Democrat, the Democrat rep made. Again, I would be worried. Take a look at this. I don't know how we're going to overcome this. I don't know how we're going to win anything in 2026 and 2028. Hold on. It froze up again. Gosh, eventually we'll get a new computer. I promise. These computers are so outrageously. Choose your fighter, guys. They think it's Mortal Kombat over here. Some of you that probably some of the guys my age might remember Mortal Kombat. Get over here. Man, it's been so hard for me not to cuss. Who the F could talk you into doing this? Like, who thought this was a good idea? Who thought this resonates to the American people? What base are they going for? This is absolutely hysterical. I don't know about you all, but this is quite the thing. So we talked about it the other day. We showed you the video where they were all synchronized saying the same thing. So there was some funnies going around, and let me tell you some of those funnies. The funnies were Harry Sisson and the other faggots were on in Washington D.C. on Capitol Hill that day, and they were saying Harry was telling him to get the mic like a TikToker and talk into the mic. This would be a Harry style thing right here. Maybe Harry is in charge now. Maybe they just lost their mind, put gay boy Harry in charge of it and says, you know what? Let's take down the Titanic, because it seems like that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. See, Paget CA, handy news. Maga Matt, what's up? Maga Matt's responsible for the raid. Thank you, Maga Matt. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you more than you know. Old Uncle Bill's in the house. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. So we did cover a couple weeks ago. I believe this was February 19th. We covered it on February 20th. The shots fired at a Tesla dealership. This was the same Tesla dealerships where just weeks earlier they had an arson attack. I want to play you that news clip now, and then we got some good news. Transtifa, Trump's DOJ, has picked up somebody.
Windows are now boarded up. This is because early Wednesday morning, the windows at this dealership were damaged by gunshots. Take a look at these photos from Salem police. You can see the bullet holes in the window and the shattered glass at the Tesla dealership on Mission Street in Salem. Salem police tells Fox 12 that the FBI is now assisting with the investigation. The shooting incident comes just weeks after a car was set on fire at the same Tesla dealership. The dealership declined to comment on either of these incidents. According to Salem police, no arrests have been made, and this is still an active investigation. From Salem, McKenna Marks, Fox 12.
Well, we told you there was a new sheriff in town. Check out this reporting. This was, Haha sent me this. This was first reported by Andy No, a Portland trans activist. Look at that. A face only a mother could love. A Portland trans activist has been identified by the DOJ as a masked man in black who carried out the 2 firebombings and shooting attacks on a Tesla store in Salem, Oregon. Adam Lansky uses the alias Allison Tesla in his activism and porn work. It says, and this is that video we just seen. Adam Lansky, again, another Transtifa member. Let me see if I can pull up another article. I had another article up here, but this is again the DOJ, the FBI doing the jobs that they haven't done. And I promise you, I don't know if this would have happened, if the fire bombings would have happened, if the gunshots would have happened, but there would have been other terrorism regardless if Kamala Harris is one. But I promise you, the FBI wouldn't have cared about this incident. They wouldn't have cared about that incident. Here's some one of the other posts right here. And this says, Adam Matthew Lansky, born November 1983, has been federally charged by the DOJ with illegally possessing an unregistered destructive device. He's accused of being a part of the January 20th firebombing attacks on the Tesla store and the February 19th shooting there. Lansky allegedly pointed a semi-automatic rifle at a witness during the first incident. Lansky is an audio engineer at the far left First Congressional United Church of Christ of Portland. Oh, that's funny. Church of Christ. Says Tesla stores have become a target of political violence. So that's crazy. There you go, folks. There you go. There he is on pictures there. Well, that's funny. That's funny. Channel 2 Action News. I'm going to go ahead and give you an individual hi. Hi only to you. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you all. But yeah, this is what we're seeing, and we're going to see it in California too. I have a good feeling. We've been to plenty of protests out in California. We've documented, we've been assaulted, we've had our equipment stolen. A lot of things have gone on. We've documented a lot of assaults on people, a lot of assaults on press from Transtifa, the mentally ill folks that want to go protest and strip the rights away of the First Amendment of American citizens. And I think those days are going to be numbered. I think this could take away our fun because, you know, it's no fun if these people don't show up and give us something, right? Speaking of Portland, how about this one? Orange County Commissioner Melissa Fireside has been charged with 8 felony theft charges after she allegedly stole thousands of dollars from an elderly man. Clackamas County Chair Craig Roberts issued a statement announcing that Fireside will be taking a leave of absence effective immediately. That's her here. And it says, Clackamas County Chair has issued the following statement. The Clackamas County Board of Commissioners has been informed that Commissioner Melissa Fireside has been indicted by the Clackamas County Grand Jury. Commissioner Fireside has notified me of her decision to take a leave of absence effective immediately. As chair of the Clackamas County Board of Commissioners, I want to express I'm deeply concerned about the indictment of Commissioner Fireside. This is a serious matter, and the board remains committed to maintaining the trust and confidence that the people of Clackamas County have placed in us while continuing to fulfill our responsibilities to them. Under Oregon law, the board does not have the authority to remove an elected commissioner. However, I want to ensure everyone that the board is committed to reviewing all available options within its legal authority to uphold trust of Clackamas County voters and address their concerns. That was, what's the date today? The 6th? That was yesterday. Man. These politicians. Now, this is going around. I want to show you this video here. This is going around here, and it's just funny because it goes to show you how a lot of times when people get elected, they do things to get elected. And if they get elected to the Democrat Party, it's almost like the Democrat Party wants them to change a little bit. We heard Kamala Harris. We've never heard her talk black before, but during the presidential campaign, all of a sudden, she had an accent that you wouldn't believe when she was in more black neighborhoods. Check this one out from someone who's actually pretty ghetto, Rep. Jasmine Crockett. Take a listen to this.
It's good to see you in the new year. You know, no one could have told me that when I went down to Austin, now it looks like over a year ago, that I would be running for Congress. It's just not what my plan was. But what I've always decided is that I would step up when there was a need. Listen, he up there, he's spewing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, you know. But when she called me and said, I think it's time for me to retire, and you're the one that I believe should take my seat, I really was kind of caught off guard. I didn't anticipate that. If anyone knows anything about the Congresswoman, they know we showed up, and if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. You know, the congressional seat is over 4 times as large as my House seat. And I was just starting to get into the rhythm of doing constituent services and things like that. We got Madam Williams, who just happens to have the honoraries.
So you ask yourself, like, I mean, she even looks nasty now. Like, she didn't look that bad. She's taken that liberal, I don't know, that downgrade. She went and like, I don't know what language she speaks now. It's kind of interesting. but very, very interesting to say the least. But again, who did the Democrats want to appeal to? The truth was they were losing a lot of the black vote. Again, if you look at the history of the Republican Party, Trump got the largest number of blacks to vote for him. I think they went about it the right way. I think when you're going after the ghetto black vote, the hood black vote, most of those people don't vote unless you knock on their door and have them fill it out if you ballot harvest. It's just the truth. Statistics will prove that. And I think it's sad that Democrats align that language and that voice that she's using now with everyday Black Americans, because they're not. They're just like me. They're just like you. They just talk normal. They act normal. They go to work normal. But that's not how Democrats want to portray them. And I think it's actually a disgusting assault on them to even do that. And I know a lot of them that are offended by this, Let me pull this up really quick, guys. We got a coffee. Check this out. Weak coffee is for the weak. And at Rumble, weak has never been part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no setting for mediocrity, just like 1775 coffee. It's single origin, small farm, hand-picked, specially grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out BS when it matters. Forget stale, mass-produced beans, roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness. And Vitality Mushroom Blend, real energy and lasting focus. No synthetic garbage. For K-Cup pods, whole beans, or fresh ground coffee, go to 1775coffee.com. Use promo code STUDIO for 15% off and start your morning with the coffee that stands for something. Oh, and every dollar spent enters you to win a Cybertruck and $30,000 cash. So go over to 1775 Coffee, folks. Use promo code STUDIO. Get 15% off. Try it out. Again, support brands that support us. And that's what I got to say. Support brands that support us. Remember, been working for years to get this parallel economy where we didn't have to go to the Starbucks and everything else. So if you guys go check them out, that would be great. See what we got next. Okay, the clown show on Capitol Hill. And we're talking about Democrats and the censure of Al Green. Democrats started singing on the floor in protest. Think I'm joking? I'm not. Take a listen.
On this vote, the yeas are 224, the nays are 198, with 2 answering present. The resolution is adopted. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table. The House will come to order. The House will come to order.
Shh. Has to shush them like the babies they are.
Will Representative Green present himself to the will? By its adoption of House Resolution 189, the House has resolved that Representative Al Green be censured, that Representative Al Green forthwith present himself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure, and that Representative Al Green be censured with public reading of this resolution by the Speaker.
I guess they didn't teach Maxine Waters.
The House will come to order. The House will come to order. What's that? The House will come to order. Clear the well, please. Clear the well. The House has to continue its business.
Looks like an insurrection on the well.
Just say the House. Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the House will stand in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
These poor little people, man. Democrats are losing their way. The only people that support this are the people that are paid to put out propaganda for them, the Harrys, the other lying social media accounts that everything Democrats do is perfect. The average American thinks this is trash, and that's exactly what it is, just like Al Green is trash. It's unfortunate that we're seeing this today, but we told you it's going to be a long 4 years. I don't know how long we can expect this to go on. I am going to say I think they're going to realize. I'm hoping the midterm sends them another message. Historically, when you get a president that wins in the midterms, their party loses seats. That's how it's been historically. That is what expected for Republicans. We're doing a lot of stuff. Hopefully, all these things that we're doing will enable us to win, but Democrats are doing us a huge favor. Again, we showed you the polling yesterday from when he interrupted Trump's speech. 80%. And what was it, a CBS poll? It wasn't a Fox News poll. It wasn't an Oreo Army poll. A CBS News poll, 80% disapproved of it. Guess what? They're doubling down. They're doubling down. It's sad, folks. It's sad, but this is what we have to go through. It's almost like, you know how there's really bad schools, the really bad schools in our education system where the teachers don't care. I look at like Mike Johnson up there, and I just think about like that teacher that gets an opportunity to either substitute teach for a day or takes a job there because they need teachers and gets into the classroom and thinks, oh my God, what did I get myself into? These kids don't listen. They're all childish brats. They must not have good parents at home. Who's let them go this far and act this way? And the truth is, the American people have. We haven't demanded accountability. We haven't done the things we need to do. And I thought Rep. Andy Ogle says today a group of House Democrats broke decorum during the censure of Rep. Al Green, and after multiple warnings, refused to heed Speaker Johnson's order. I am drafting a privileged resolution to remove each of them from their committees. If you want to act like a child in the halls of Congress, you will be treated like one. I like this. I like this. Now, will the rest of will this happen? I don't know. I'm hoping it happens. That would be nice. It would send a message. It would give them more. They're fascists. They're taking us off our committees. You know, they don't care that all the Republicans that were speaking out against California's problems here in the California State Assembly were just removed. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, we covered that story on Monday. Maybe Friday we covered that story. Not a peep from any of those people, so they shouldn't have a peep about this. And I love this. I love this, guys. I never thought we'd be celebrating these things, but we are, and there's a good reason for it. U.S. employers cut more jobs last month than any February since 2009. New data shows fueled by the Trump administration's federal layoffs. Now we're going to talk about this. Again, March will probably be higher. We're in March right now. There's more cuts coming. Again, if you have a bloated federal government, you have to get rid of those people somehow. Right? We've continued to grow and grow. I know the last administration, we're hiring 87,000 IRS agents. Who the hell needs 87,000 IRS agents? The whole IRS itself shouldn't be more than, I don't know, a couple thousand employees. We have AI. We have a lot of things that we don't need IRS agents for. And now we told you that the left wing would use this as a reason to say, oh, Trump's economy, look it, we got highest unemployment. And sure enough, it's happening. We called it when the layoffs started. We told you what would happen. We know their game. We know who they are. They have nothing solid or foundational to stand on. So what they're doing now is blaming this on Trump. Well, yeah. It is Trump. It's the American people. This is what we voted for. To cut, to slash, to go in with a chainsaw to our federal government agencies and cut them by up to 75%. Some of them even more. So yeah, this is great news. And let me show you some of the tweets here. It's almost like these people are this stupid. Oh, look, now Trump is crashing the job market too. U.S. employers cut more jobs last month than any February since 2009. And I put, thank God, that's all the bloated federal government employees. Let's see March even go higher. Taxpayers are done paying for a bloated bureaucracy. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And you might see February, March, April. I think by May, we should be smoothed out because there is some court cases going on right now where they've put a hold on some of the firings, some of the terminations, some of the layoffs. So we're going to have to wait through the court proceed. We do have some good news on one of those, and we're going to be bringing that to you in a minute on what a judge decided today. But I just think it's great. And hopefully these hit March numbers. Check this out. It's supposed to be at 11 o'clock. I'll have to check. It's supposed to be 11 o'clock my time, which was 31 minutes ago when we went live. Trump expected to sign executive order dismantling the Department of Education. What I voted for. I cannot believe how fast this man is working. Like if you would have took me, and I'm honest on here, I don't lie. I don't say he's going to do something he's don't. If anything, I'm critical of what can be done, what is able to be done. And I thought after what they did to him the last 4 years, what he witnessed, once he realized how deep the deep state was, I thought that there would be some issues with some things going through so fast. Now, the only issues, and I think we have that up, is there's been over 100, count that right, Democrats have sued over 100 times in the last 40-something days. What's the date today? The 6th, 46 days, 45 days. They have sued him over 100 times to stop the will of the American people. This, again, the Department of Education, very bloated. And you know who's fighting the most? And we've talked about it. The unions. Why? Because the unions, the federal employees, are their gravy train. They just hire. You can't get fired. You know, it's been almost impossible to get fired, to lose your job if you work for the government, whether you're a teacher, whether you're USAID, no matter what, right? And now we're seeing a shift, and that's costing the unions billions of dollars. All that money that they funnel back to the Democrats, it's not there, folks. It's going to be going away. And that's why you have the lawsuits. Now, look at this. This is a Challenger Gray and Christmas Incorporated, a job cut announcement report. And this is beautiful. The highest numbers cut were in the government. And I'm telling you that number's not correct. It says 62,000, but I've seen multiple reports where it's more. We need more of this. We definitely need more of this. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 2025. That's 2025. That's January, February. Okay. So February of 2024, it was 27. In February of 2025, 62,000. Now we always talk about, again, you're funding these people with your tax dollars. We know, if you know people, I have friends in the federal government. I have friends that work for the county. I have friends that work for Caltrans. And don't get me wrong, there is some hard workers there. But a lot of these agencies, they get people that, I guess what we would call work the system. Do only what you got to do. And I'm not lying. When I was dealing with Caltrans, I remember going up to certain mechanics because they were one of my accounts. I won't get into too much detail. But I remember going there, and I've always worked a job that if something needs to be done, you just do it. You don't ask questions. You don't put it off on somebody else. You don't say that's my job. In the private sector, when you say that's not my job, you should be fired. I was a very high in management at the last couple companies I worked at. And if the toilet needed to be cleaned, they wouldn't want me cleaning it because it would have been a waste of my time, but I would have done it without a problem if that's what needed to happen. That's the difference between the private sector and the taxpayer funded sector. And I remember going up and asking somebody and him literally saying, oh, well, John takes care of that area. And it was a simple question. Anybody could have answered. I could have answered it, but I needed confirmation so I knew what I was doing, that I had talked to somebody. And he goes, yeah, that's not really in my job description. All you have to do is answer yes or no. You know, you've been here for 17 years. And it's just, it creates that. And, you know, we always make jokes about the guy holding the road sign. I have a buddy that did that for years, hold the road sign for Caltrans. And it's breaking apart now. It's breaking apart. I don't think the federal government is going to be that place where lazy people want to work. I think it's going to be a place now like the Silicon Valley and other places where you have these startups. And honestly, you know, people get so mad at these people that get into these startups and they're sleeping in their offices and they're doing all this. They're trying to make something work. And when it works, they become rich and they're like, oh, they owe me because they're rich. No, you stay up 24/7. You sleep in the floor of the factory like Elon Musk has done. You've never sacrificed anything close to that and you deserve nothing. America is the possibility of dreams. America. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols ruled that Trump's administration can move forward with the dismantling of USAID. This is a huge blow to the unions, the advocacy groups, and the Personal Service Contractors Association who brought this suit against them. Huge blow. It sets precedents now. And again, let me see if I can find Trump on that executive order. See if he's done it yet. Maybe we'll be able to watch it live if it hasn't already happened. This is something he put out since we're talking about cost cutting and everything. It says the golden age of America has just begun. Over the past 6 weeks, our administration has delivered on promises like no administration before it, always putting America first. Dodge has been an incredible success. And now that we have my cabinet in place, I have instructed the secretaries and leadership to work with Dodge on cost-cutting measures and staffing. As the secretaries learn about and understand the people working for the various departments, they can be very precise as who will remain and who will go. We say the scalpel rather than the hatchet. The combination of them, Elon, Doge, and other great people will be able to do things at a historical level. We just had a meeting with most of the secretaries, Elon and others, and it was a very positive one. It's very important that we cut levels down to where they should be, but it's also important to keep the best and most productive people. We're going to have these meetings every 2 weeks until that aspect of this very necessary job is done. The relationship between everybody in that room are extraordinary. They all want to get the exact same place, which simply is to make America great again. Epic. Let's see if we have. Let's see. Yeah, it says 2:00 Eastern today. That's already passed. Trump had said, let's see. He put, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taking more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it. I love that. We'll look again here in a minute. We'll look again. But again, that is great news that that judge sided with the Trump administration.
People
Now
come
we're gonna
out,
get into
should come
Gavin
out
Newsom
and be like, you know,
and
like you right
Charlie
now
Kirk.
should
I
come
don't
out.
know if you guys follow my X. If you don't, follow us on X at Oreo Express. But I had some, I wouldn't say concerns. When we heard that Gavin Newsom was going to be starting a podcast, and he said, this won't be your average everyday podcast. We're going to have people that disagree with me. We're going to have some of the biggest figures on the right and all this other stuff. And I told you guys on a live stream, why? Because he wants to run for president 2028. He's also fighting a recall effort that has started in the state of California. And by giving him this attention, it will help him. Trust me, I'm on the ground in California more than anybody I know, talking about Democrats, independents, and Republicans. And when it comes to like special elections and stuff, you got to understand, what are we up against? We're not up against grassroots conservatives. We're up against far leftist groups. We're up against unions and all their employees, and the government and all their employees. Now you take that. That's a big section of voters here in California. That is a big section of voters. Don't think that when people say, "Oh, California's right, it's red." No, we have some red areas. We have some other areas kind of moving towards the red a little bit more. One of the problems we have is, again, California has been indoctrinated. California was hit with mass illegal aliens for years and years. This has been going on for 20 years. This is why we haven't had we've become a Democrat majority everywhere in the state of California, is because those that came from outside this country and vote the way of the Democrats. I'm going to play this video here. This one right here was Gavin Newsom saying that he agrees that men shouldn't be in women's sports. Now, again, this is what he is doing and what we are doing. And when I say that, I don't mean we're giving a platform. Old Uncle Bill, thank you for gifting the subscription. Check that out. Let's see who got it. Who got that subscription? Star L was gifted a membership by Old Uncle Bill. Thank you, Old Uncle Bill. Appreciate you. And again, thank you to all you guys that tune in. We appreciate you. We are 100% viewer funded. If you appreciate the show, you appreciate the travel, you appreciate the things we cover, you can donate to us. It is the beginning of the month and we are behind. We have to get all the bills paid. So if you want to help out, we do appreciate it and we need it more now than ever. It's Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App $Oreo Army, GiveSendGo.com/Oreo 2024. And we also have a Zelle link. If you want to go to our Zelle link, you head to our website, theoreoexpress.com just theoreoexpress.com. Scroll down. There'll be a donate now button. We appreciate your blessing. Again, we want to get all the bills paid up, hopefully pretty quick before we're not able to hit that live button. Let me move this over here. Mikey Ray, hello. Let's see if we refresh this. All right, just refreshing something. So here, Gavin Newsom says he agrees that men shouldn't be in women's sports. This is the same governor who has made his attorney general sue school districts that have done exactly this, to sue school districts who have said, hey, we're not going to keep secrets from parents. The parents elected us as a board, and we're not going to do it. And Gavin Newsom, Attorney General Rob Bonta, boom, right to it. So I kind of think by us or somebody like Charlie Kirk going on there, I think this is exactly what Gavin Newsom wanted. I think what he needs. It gets his voice out there more, and it gets people that don't know the truth. And I'm not talking about people that watch this show all day or watch Charlie Kirk all day or watch somebody else. Most people don't watch, even though there's some very large audiences out there. Most people get their news from what? The regular, main, lame, stream, legacy media. Take a listen to this.
It's like the unfairness of that. There's also a humility and a grace that these poor people are more likely to commit suicide, have anxiety and depression. And the way that people talk down to vulnerable communities is an issue that I have a hard time with.
So why do they, let's back that up. Again, we'll go through this whole thing twice, but listen.
That these poor people are more likely to commit suicide.
These poor people are more likely to commit suicide. They have anxiety. Why? Because they have a mental health condition. And we are not treating their mental health condition. When they transition, I know there's been fake studies out there, but the real studies say it doesn't change the suicide rate. Some studies actually say suicide is more likely. There was an article, and I didn't bring it up. Maybe I should have today, but listen to what Gavin Newsom says here. Again, and again, if you guys don't know, a lot of people don't know about Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom is buddy with a lot of Republicans. Him and Sean Hannity hang out. Him and others hang out. He is like that car salesman. And again, the only reason why he's doing this right now is he's looking at the national polls. Where am I at nationally? Nationally, over 76% of people want men out of women's sports, want men out of private spaces, women's private spaces. So he's looking at that. And that's what he used this whole podcast to, is to move not to the right, not to the center, but to where the polling is. This ain't going to change nothing for his stance on anything. He's still radical, and I thought this was great. Vivek Ramaswamy took the words right out of my mouth when this came up. It was about a news article. It says, Gavin Newsom breaks with Democrats on trans athletes in sports. And it says, when it was fashionable to jump on the woke trans bandwagon, they all did it. Now they're starting to defect. Newsom, Buttigieg, etc. And it's equally disingenuous. It is disingenuous. But Republicans should take note of the brewing sea change in the Democrat Party. There's a seismic shift coming, and we need to make sure we don't end up flat-footed. Next year's battle will likely be different from last year's. And that's what they are trying to do. Vivek, very intelligent, hit that on the head. They are changing the landscape right now before our eyes. Now you'll have your California Democrats that hate men, that hate masculinity, and we're going to talk about that. They've already issued a statement. But I'm going to tell you, watch, I'm not wrong. I'm not saying that he will win in 2028. I'm saying his popularity will not be down in the drains because we're giving him the platforms and the people to climb his way back out. And I get it. Yeah, it's ratings, it's everything else for people, but I'm just telling you right now, this is better for him than it is for anybody on our side, better than it is for Charlie Kirk or anybody else. Mark my words. This was California LGBTQ caucus responds to Governor Newsom's comments on transgender athletes. And this is it right here. Sacramento, California, Assembly Member Chris Ward and Senator Caroline Minihavar, Chair and Vice Chair of the California LGBT Caucus, released the following statement on Governor Gavin Newsom's recent anti-transgender remarks. It's not anti-trans to say men should not be in women's sports. It's normal. Sometimes Gavin Newsom goes for the profile and courage. Sometimes not. We woke up profoundly sickened and frustrated by these remarks. All students deserve the academic and health benefits of sports activities, and until Donald Trump began obsessing about it, playing on a team consistent with one's gender has not been a problem since the standard was passed in 23. Actually, it has. It wasn't Donald Trump that started all this. Donald Trump knew it was an issue. That's why he ran on it. That's why he said Donald Trump is for you. Kamala Harris is for they, them, because he knew that most Americans understand this is not normal. It's a severe mental health condition that needs help. I mean, this would be somebody like the cutting disorder. Democrats, if you see somebody with a cutting disorder, you give them a knife. It's not what you're supposed to do. And I just find it profoundly sickening. And again, it's not going to change anything. But they said, we woke up profoundly sickened and frustrated by these remarks. Oh, well, how about, since there's so many of you, start your own trans athlete league? You won't do it because, again, those guys don't want to play against other guys. They want to play against women where they have the best chance of winning. They're cowards. Just to give you an idea, I seen this and I didn't bring it up, but I had saved it. I want to show you how voters responded to Trump saying that it's an official U.S. policy that there are only two genders, male and female. We have the red that's going to serve as conservative Republican, the yellow, which is independent on this graph, and the blue, which are Democrats. And it'll kind of show you who's out of touch. Oh, let me back up.
And I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. And I signed an order.
Look at that one more time.
Official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Look at that steep drop in Democrats. That they disliked it. It's where we're at. Now, listen to what Hakeem Jeffries says. Again, Gavin Newsom wants to run in 2028. There's no doubt in my mind. We've called it for a long time. The only reason he didn't run in Kamala's position, and I can promise you this, is because he was not the chosen one. The woke party went against the white man. That's what they did. Bottom line. Take a listen to this.
I want to ask about California Governor Gavin Newsom's comments saying that Democrats were in the wrong for allowing transgender athletes to compete in female and girls sports. What is your response to that after Democrats had opposed the women and girls in sports?
I haven't seen his comments. What Democrats opposed was unleashing sexual predators on girls throughout the United States.
So again, he looks like he's seen a ghost right here. Look. He's seen it. He knows.
California Governor Gavin Newsom's comments saying that Democrats were in the wrong for allowing transgender athletes to compete in female and girls sports. What is your response to that after Democrats had opposed the women and girls in sports?
I haven't seen his comments. What Democrats opposed.
He says what Democrats opposed is unleashing sexual predators. Hold on. Why is this thing going over here?
Sexual predators on girls throughout the United States.
They have been letting sexual predators. They actually imported them down at our southern border. Has he forgot all the women and young girls that have been raped by illegal aliens that they stand for, that they voted against deporting? And just 2 days ago, they had an opportunity to stand against men in women's sports. But again, Gavin Newsom is looking at the big picture right now. So he's going to change his stance on a couple things. It's not just going to be this. He's going to seem like the cool guy. He's going to do exactly what Trump did. And what is that? Trump went on different podcasts. He's not scared of taking questions from the media. And Gavin Newsom sees that. Gavin Newsom says, how can I change my image in a really short amount of time? Let's see who will take me up on my offer. It's exactly what happened. And I'm not bashing Charlie Kirk by any stretch. I think Charlie Kirk does some amazing work. I'm giving you my prediction on what I think's happening and what's going to happen. And I know I'm not in line with what you guys or people call the right-wing influencers. A lot of them are promoting this. I just don't see it. Listen to what he says here.
Last night.
And again, this is more of the car salesman coming up.
Right.
So there he is. He's seeing what and we've talked about this, especially over the last 6 months. Democrats are really saying, man, conservatives, these influencers, they own the internet. They're the most popular shows. They got the most loyal viewers. More people tune into them. More people support them. What are they doing different? And the truth is, they're just being real. They're showing you what's going on. They're showing you, and they stand with America values. They stand on what America was created for. They stand on the actual Constitution, not the democracy rules of the left. Because the left thinks we're a true democracy, a mob rule. We are a republic. And people start looking into this and think, wow, if we're a democracy, that means if people don't like soccer, I like soccer. If people don't like soccer, they can just vote to get rid of it. And I don't have the right to do anything about it. Because I'll be put in jail like the people that created memes of Hillary Clinton. So I thought that was interesting today for sure. And here's where, listen to this one, because listen to where, again, he's out of touch. He doesn't know. He wants to kind of, who did this the other day that we covered? John Fetterman tries to go and he's pulling of John Fetterman. Tries to go and say, hey, there's Democrats have been wrong in a lot. You can't just hate Trump and everybody in his party because they're Republicans. We got to open our ears. We got to listen. And then he votes against men and women's sports. He supports men and women's sports. And then he came out the next day and said, well, the Democrat Party became chaos when we allowed 300,000 people a day through our border. But he said nothing while those 300,000 people a day were coming through. You see how he's playing that curve? Listen to this.
For office.
I'm not going to run for president as a moderator. You signed a...
Here we go. About it. This is not what the law was designed, and we'll come back to this. But remember, the lawsuits came from teachers hiding from the fact and actually calling a boy a girl's name in class and hiding it from the teacher, doing paperwork. The whole school knew in some cases, even so much so as giving them counseling on what doctors they could go to transition. In the state of California, the union supported this. We elected board members that went against it. Chino Hill said, no, you cannot keep secrets from the parents. You need to notify the parents within 72 hours if a child files paperwork to change their name, if a child says they want to identify as the opposite sex. That's all it was. And Gavin Newsom said, nope. And Attorney General Rob Bonta sued the school districts. So again, this is Gavin Newsom lying through his used car salesman hair. See, and that once it's something that the people won't agree with, like the parents, a majority of the voters, that's not political. Making it sound like a teacher had to have binoculars outside the classroom seeing if kids were acting gay. That's not what this had to do with. This has to do with the mental health of our children. And again, I agree. The Democrat Party is crushed. Gavin Newsom says it. But it'll be interesting to see how this goes forward. So Gavin Newsom created this podcast for these purposes. He's seen how well Trump did, and how bad Kamala did. Kamala refused to go on all podcasts. She refused to do everything. And he's seeing that the media is not the way to go anymore. He can't call whatever ABC affiliate in Sacramento or CNN and get his message out like he used to. He knows it has to be through the internet. It has to be on a podcast. It has to be having people on that podcast that people actually watch. So it's going to be interesting. Just in the CIA, remember we talked about those unemployment numbers going up, 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 and it's actually a good thing. The CIA is about to get hit with a wave of layoffs. The first wave of layoffs are expected to include recent hires and probationary employees. CIA officers hired within the last 2 years are being summoned to offsite location, fired, and forced to surrender their badges to security personnel, according to the New York Times. The reduction in staff comes after a judge gave Director John Ratcliffe approval to fire employees at will. The lawsuit was filed by CIA officers assigned to the diversity and recruiting efforts under the Biden regime. More. I just want you guys to listen to this right now because, again, they have very few talking points. So Democrat talking points, other than they're racist and fascist, which, again, has been bankrupt for quite a while, is they're going to cut your Medicaid. They're going to take away your Social Security. They're going to take away your Social Security payments and give it to billionaires. And again, going after, they've kind of died down on the private information thing. They realize, oh, they're accessing your private information. They realized, like, Americans didn't care. Everybody has our private information. Every government employee had it. So why can't these people that want to downsize government have that same information? Listen to this, though. Listen to this. Patty Murray. It's hilarious.
Scheme. It was just before he called Social Security a Ponzi scheme. It was just last month that Elon called the American people who rely on federal programs like Social Security parasites. Well, maybe Elon could use a little refresher on American history. For decades, our federal tax code has said, if you have a higher income, you're going to chip in more. The radical thing right now is that Social Security actually works in the opposite way. If you make $160,000 a year, you're paying the same amount in Social Security each year as a billionaire like Elon Musk. Someone can make over 12,000 times your salary.
So let's go through this really quick. So, first of all, the parasites that they're talking about and the Ponzi scheme we've covered numerous times before. So the reason why Social Security was enacted was, again, when people hit that retirement age, they needed something to help compensate with their retirement plan. And so they put together this great idea, hoping that most Americans would be productive and put in. What we've learned since then is all that money that went in there was spent by both. It was a piggy bank by both Democrats and Republicans. Now, Social Security is supposed to be insolvent in 9 to 11 years. Also, Social Security, if you look at it, this is what we're going to have to pay out. This is what we're going to take in, is going to be paying out much more than it takes in. So Social Security can't work the way it is right now. Another thing, you don't have to pay in at all. If you want to live a party lifestyle and live off the government and everything else and never pay into Social Security or just pay into it 6 years, you get just as much as that person who worked 45 years. Did you know that? So it's not about equality and fairness, because if it was, then you would see people who worked hard, who put in 60 hours a week, getting more of a return on their investment. Now, if you look at the numbers, that if everybody put that money into a savings, they would have much more money without the government hands in the cookie jar when they retired. If they died, guess what? Their family would get their money. Now, the parasites, and we see it all the time. We got people, we got so much welfare fraud and so many people that refuse to work. I seen an article today that said because of the immigration raids and because of deportation, oranges are sitting on the trees not being picked. How the hell is that possible? You're giving out billions of dollars of welfare. You want that damn welfare check? You go out there and earn it. You say, oh, I can't get a job. There's a no, we are done with this. We need to go back to the old school days. It wasn't a welfare state, and we need to get out of this welfare state. It's just amazing. And I don't have a problem, and many billionaires don't either, to say, you know what? I want to exit out of the Social Security system. I'll never need it. I don't want it. There's been talks to make it where if you make over, say, $1 million a year, that you won't be eligible. Now, Democrats lowered that a lot. They were like, well, what about people making $120 a year? They shouldn't get it either. Again, because they want it to be what? An extended welfare system. And so, again, they're going to cut Medicaid. They're going to take your Social Security. Remember the old school one? They're pushing Granny off a cliff. Those were the good old days. Let's see. And I want to bring this up before we look to see if we have some video of Trump signing that executive order. And it is, hold on. Old Uncle Bill says, don't work, don't eat. What the Bible says. And again, not the leftist Bible. The leftist Bible says you should have trans priests. It's called the Devil's Playground, the Devil's Playbook, when it's the leftist one. San Diego has joined a lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's threat to withhold federal grant funding from jurisdictions that won't cooperate with federal immigration enforcement. So here, this was an NBC7 San Diego news article. It says San Diego again has joined the lawsuit challenging the Trump administration because Trump has said, you know what? If you're not going to abide by federal law, we're not going to give you your federal grant money. You want to keep the sovereignty of our country, protect the citizens, and adhere to federal law, nothing changes. And of course, San Diego has decided to sue. Go figure. Let's see what else we got here. Let me go to the top and see if we've had anything breaking. Just looking to see if anything's going on. I guess Charlie Kirk is now over at, I don't know what campus this is. CSUN. Well, let me see what CSUN is, and then we'll play the video of the crazies. California, Northridge, California. Okay. Let's see what they're doing at Northridge. I wish I would have known that. We would have went down there.
We won't be silenced too! Kirk on campus now, run! We are the students too! We are the students free! No, run! We are the students too! We won't be silenced too!
Kirk is a pedophile. Charlie Kirk is a Nazi. You see those signs? Always the white ones. The white liberals want to take away free speech, want to kick him off the campus. He doesn't have a right as an American citizen to be here. We want jihadists and illegals on our campus. That's funny. See what else we got. Under San Diego County. See if we got anything else. No, let's see. All right, yeah. Looks like I'm not seeing what's this one here. Winter Haven Police Department with German Shepherd handcuffs. All right, so we should be live with another show if there's enough content. I want to say thank you for all you guys tuning in. I appreciate it. Please hit that like button. Don't forget, we are viewer funded. If you guys want to drop $5, $10, $15, $20 to help us out and pay the bills, lights, camera, action, all the goodies, we would appreciate it. We need it more now at the beginning of the month than the rest of the month. So you can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, or givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. I want to say thank you to y'all. I'll be here in the studio if anything breaks. I'll be getting ready for the next show. Make sure to tune in probably about 3:30 to 4 o'clock my time. That's 3.5 to 4 hours away. God bless you all. And again, thanks for tuning in, guys. Pixie, Jericho, Freedom Cowgirl, Julius, Red Wave, thank you all. And we will be seeing you soon. Don't forget to stop by mypillow.com and use promo code Oreo for a substantial savings and free shipping right now. God bless you all.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 6-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ships